My name is Aariv Modi. I'm 12 years old and I attend Walsh Middle School in Round Rock, Texas. Thanks for joining me today. I'll be showing you how to create an Alexa skill. Now before I get started, let me quickly introduce myself a little more. I love to play basketball at school and with friends. It's my favorite sport. I recently learned how to solve Rubik's Cubes. I can usually solve one in about a minute, although my best time is 52 seconds. I've been playing chess since I was in kindergarten, and I've been to lots of local and state tournaments. Skiing is something I picked up during my years in Seattle. And last but certainly not least, I love playing video games and trading Pokemon cards with my friends. When playing video games, I've learned about a lot of cool concepts that I've integrated into my Alexa skills. So it looks like video games aren't entirely bad. Hope parents are listening. So as you can see from the picture, I started out quite young. I was introduced to Scratch, an online block-based programming tool, when I was 7 years old by my dad. I was immediately hooked to the notion that dragging blocks around could make so many different possibilities and ideas a reality. Once I got comfortable with Scratch, I wanted to dive deeper into coding. For me, that meant starting to use Khan Academy, an online website that can teach you about many different subjects through videos and interactive courses, and thankfully coding was one of those subjects. Since then, I've also used a Cloud Guru and Code Academy to learn about more complex things like JavaScript, Node.js, and AWS. So enough about me. What is Alexa? Alexa is a cloud-based voice service which is available through various Echo devices. I was introduced to Alexa 4 years ago when my parents first bought an Echo device. I had always thought that Alexa's abilities were amazing. Alexa has built-in features such as weather, music, news, and more. However, with Alexa, you could play games, ask for a fart, and even turn lights on and off. I was even more impressed when I learned that you could build your own Alexa skills for everyone to use. Since then, I've developed 5 Alexa skills, including my skills STEM Party, Word Party, and Wheel of Fun. This is the Alexa family of devices. As you can see, they come in various shapes and sizes. Some have screens, some don't. This one right over here, Alexa Auto, is for your car. There are even Echo frames, which are glasses with Alexa in them. So there's an Echo Spot right over here. Then there's an Echo Show. There's Echo Dot here. There's an Alexa Input here, and there's even a Kindle. As of today, there are millions of devices all over the world which have Alexa enabled in them. So now let me quickly explain how Alexa works. It's okay if you don't entirely understand it. It's not necessary for developing Alexa skills. The first thing that happens is the user makes the request. It can be something as simple as, Alexa, what's the weather? Or it can be something slightly more complex like, Alexa, open STEM Party. Your Echo device hears this, makes an audio of it, and streams it to the Alexa service. The Alexa service is comprised of 3 main technologies: ASR, or automatic speech recognition, NLU, or natural language understanding, and TTS, or text-to-speech. So the first service to work on it is ASR. ASR's job is to figure out what exactly you're saying, because right now it's your request is just an audio, and the rest of the process needs JSON text to function. And so ASR converts this audio into a nice JSON text. This can be hard even for humans to figure out what someone's trying to say, because there could be background noise or like music. Some people have accents too, but ASR usually does a pretty good job of figuring out what the user is trying to say. Next comes NLU. NLU's job is to figure out what the user wants to do, what their intent is. For example, if you said, Alexa, what's the time? NLU will figure out, okay, this user wants to know what the time is. Let's say you just opened a STEM Party and asked you if you were ready to start or not. If you said yes, NLU will figure out, okay, this user wants to continue with the skill. And if you said no, then NLU will figure out, okay, this user wants to end the skill. So then NLU sends a request containing the intent to your backend code. You should have a handler for every possible scenario or every possible intent, and your code will execute, and your skill will send a response back to the Alexa service through text and visual. However, right now it's just JSON text, and your Echo device needs to play audio. So the final service, text-to-speech, converts this JSON text back into audio. Your Echo device plays this audio, and if your device has a screen and the skill is multimodal, then an image may start to form upon the screen. And so this happens every single time a user says anything to Alexa. So what are Alexa skills? Think of Alexa skills as apps on your phone. When you buy a new phone, it comes with core apps already installed like Maps, Calculator, Clock, etc. In the same way, Alexa has a set of core capabilities such as playing music, answering questions, and providing weather forecasts. You know how Apple allows third-party developers to create apps for iOS? Well, the Alexa Skills Kit allows developers to build new skills for Alexa customers. They can then access these skills by invoking them. For example, you can invoke skills such as Uber, Kayak, and Domino's by saying, "Alexa, open," followed by the skill's name. So far, third-party developers have built over 100,000 Alexa skills. These are just some more popular Alexa skills, including two of my own. I developed STEM Party right here, which is a math and science quiz skill. And I also developed Wheel of Fun, where you get to spin a wheel and it gives you something like a random tidbit, like a piece of advice or a fact or a joke, something like that. Out of all of my Alexa skills, my personal favorite is STEM Party. So you can choose a subject between math and science, and you can also choose a difficulty level between easy, medium, and hard. My skill also keeps track of users' stars and streak over sessions, and it has a very engaging screen experience. You can even earn bonus stars from hidden chests. So now what we've all been waiting for, how to create an Alexa skill. There are two main ways to create an Alexa skill, through Alexa Blueprints and through the Alexa Skills Kit, or ASK. Alexa Blueprints is an easy way to develop Alexa skills without knowledge of code. It has easy-to-use templates, and it's good for personalized skills. For example, let's say you want to build a skill for your family, where Alexa asks questions about your family, like what is dad's favorite color, what is mom's favorite movie, something like that. Then Alexa Skill Blueprints would be the way for you. However, if you're a programmer, then you can create more complex Alexa skills using the ASK. While it's relatively complex and coding is required, it's good for engaging skills and you have more control over the user experience. So Alexa Skill Blueprints is mainly for beginners, while with the Alexa Skills Kit, you can build almost anything you want. The sky's the limit. So now I'll show you how to develop an Alexa skill using Alexa Blueprints. Go ahead and go to blueprints.amazon.com. And if you want to follow along with me, you must have an Amazon developer account. Escape, go to blueprints.amazon.com. And I'm already signed in, but you can sign in from right here. I'll give you some time to get here. Okay, so then once you get here, the first thing that you'll see is there are lots and lots and lots of templates. What we'll be creating today is we'll be creating under Learning and Knowledge a quiz skill. Challenge your friends with open-ended questions. Go ahead and click on it. And click on Make Your Own. So the first thing we can do is we can customize the content. Right now it has 5 questions already added, or sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4 questions already added. And these are all state related, as you can see, Iowa, Texas, US state. So these are all state related. But if you, let's say you wanted to create a movie skill, a movie quiz skill, then what you'd do is you would place the question, the answer, and you can add a follow-up fact at the end if you want to. So you can add as many questions as you want to your skill. And then it's time to move on to the experience. Here is where you can customize almost everything about the skill. For example, the quiz intro. Right now, Alexa will say, welcome to your quiz. But I can change it to welcome to my state quiz, for example. Or you could change it to whatever you want. With the message, Alexa plays this sound, bell, med, chime 2. You can change that. There's so many different categories. You can customize player greetings, quiz responses, winner responses, even background images for echo shows and echo spots. So you can spend as much time as you need here, adding your own responses by just clicking add response or yeah. And then finally, it's time to move on to the name. I'm going to name mine my state quiz, but you can name it whatever you want. And it takes a couple of minutes for the skill to create. In the meantime, I'll tell you about your options once your skill is done creating. So right now, your skill will be enabled on all devices associated with your Amazon account. You can just keep it that way so then your entire family can use it on your Echo device or devices. Your second option is you can share with others using through links or Pinterest or other websites. You can share a URL to your Alexa skill so they can enable it on their Echo devices. Your third option is you can publish it to the Alexa Skills Store. There are some required fields that you'll have to fill out, but then you can publish it to the Alexa Skills Store. And one thing to note is you can't share with others and also publish your Alexa skill to the Alexa Skills Store. You have to choose one or the other. And so now it's saying your skill is created. Just say, Alexa, open my state quiz. So then you could just test your skill, see that it's working. And here you can click share with others, and you can click publish to skill store if you want to choose either of those options. And so we are done right here. Now let me talk about the components of Alexa skills. There are two main components to an Alexa skill, the interaction model and the Lambda function. When we were developing an Alexa skill through Alexa Blueprints, that didn't matter to us much because Amazon took care of 99% of it for us. However, if you're developing an Alexa skill through the Alexa Skills Kit, you'll need to keep these in mind. The interaction model is where Alexa detects what the user said and figures out what they're trying to do. The interaction model is connected to a Lambda function via endpoints. The Lambda function contains your business logic where the skill decides what to do based on what the user said. So now let's create an Alexa skill through the Alexa Skills Kit. Go to developer.amazon.com, and once again, if you wish to follow along with me, you must have an Amazon developer account. Okay. And here, developer.amazon.com. So you can sign in right here, and I'll give you some time to get right here. Okay, so then once you're on this screen, go ahead and click on Developer Console, and then hover over Alexa right over here and click on Alexa Skills Kit. So here you will see all of your Alexa skills. Most likely you will only have the one we just created using Blueprints, whatever quiz you made. I made my state quiz. And so what we need to do is we need to click on Create Skill right here. So now enter your skill name. I'll be creating a space fact skill. So I'll name mine my interesting space. Okay. So then you can choose your default language. I'll be sticking to English US, but you can choose any of these other languages. Now it says choose a model to add to your skill. there are lots of different pre-built models like flash briefing, smart home, music, etc. So if the skill you're developing falls under any of these, then it's a lot easier for you to develop your Alexa skill because Amazon makes a pre-built model and it's mostly done for you. You can just customize just a few things. However, the skill we'll be creating today does not fall under any of these, so just go ahead and stick with custom. Now choose a method to host your skill's back-end resources. An Alexa hosted skill is better for beginners because this way you don't need to go into the complexities of AWS and you have no need to create a Lambda function. However, if you're a more experienced developer, provision your own is a better option because you have more control over your skill. However, it is more complex and an AWS account is required. So let's go ahead with Alexa hosted node.js and click on Create Skill. Now it should take you a page with different templates. We'll be creating a fact skill today. Click on Choose. And it'll take a while for this skill to create. And in the meantime, I'll share with you some key terms that you'll need to know for developing. The first is the wake word. The wake word is a word that signals the device to start listening for user input. For most devices, the wake word is Alexa. However, the other options are Amazon, Computer, and Echo. The other is the invocation name. It starts an Alexa skill and is chosen by the developer as long as it follows Amazon standards. For example, if you were creating an Alexa skill called My Interesting Facts, you would probably make the invocation name My Interesting Facts. There are three more. The first is an intent, which is simply put what the user wants to do. Utterances map to intents. The second is a slot. It is variable information. There are both built-in slot types and custom slot types. Built-in slot types are slots with values already added, while you can define your own values with custom slots. An example of when you would want to use a built-in slot type is if you ask the user, how many steps did you walk today? Their answer could be low, such as 100 to 200, or it could be high, such as 10,000. Without built-in slots, you would have to add every single number to your slot, but instead you can just use the built-in Amazon.number slot type. The final one is an utterance. An utterance is simply any phrase users might say to Alexa. Some examples of utterances are, what's the weather, and yes, and pig. As I said, anything a user might say to Alexa. So our skill is finished creating. Go ahead and close these. So as you can see at the top, there are multiple tabs: build, code, test, distribution, certification, and analytics. Right now we are in the build tab. The first thing we want to do is we want to click on invocation. This is where we can define our invocation name. Right now it just says change me, but I'll be keeping mine My Interesting Space Facts. And just click outside anywhere and click on save. And now let me show you a few other cool things. So here in intents, you can see there is this get new fact intent, and there are 5 built-in intents, which means which are like Amazon.cancel intent, Amazon.help intent, etc. The difference between them is built-in intents are intents with utterances already added to them by Amazon. However, with a custom intent like get new fact intent, we add our own. Right now, some utterances have already been added. It's like a fact, a space fact, tell me a fact, tell me a space fact, give me a fact. There's a lot more too. And so you can update these to whichever utterances you want the user to say in order to invoke your skill. And so then once you're done with that, go ahead and click on build. And remember, you always have to save your model before building it. And it'll take a little while for the skill to finish building. Okay, it's saying quick build successful. You can now test sample utterances while it's finishing. Okay, so now we want to go to the next tab, code. Since we're creating Alexa hosted skill, instead of having our code in a Lambda function in AWS, our code is right here in the developer console. So I'll briefly explain the code. So here there's a get new fact handler, which basically means if it's a launch request, which means the user started the skill, or if the intent is get new fact intent, then execute this code. Same with help. If the user says help and invokes Amazon.help intent, then run this code. And there's one for fallback, which means if the user says something that the skill doesn't understand, like banana, for example. There's exit handler if you use to stop or cancel. And there's a few more like them. And now, how will you change your content if you want to change it? Go to, on the side here, languagestrings.js. Double click. And here you will see there's a skill name. There's a get fact message, help reprompt. And now here are the facts. Since I created a space facts skill, these are already space facts, so that works perfectly for me. However, most likely you're not creating a space facts skill, you're creating maybe a joke skill or riddle skill or something. So then what you would do is you would just replace the text inside the quotes and the comma. Remember, you have to have a quote on both sides of your content, and you have to have a comma at the end of every one. And you can just change that as much as you want. You can add as many facts as you want. And then once you're done, you can click on save and then go ahead and click on deploy to finish, deploy your skill. So now let's say your skill isn't working. Something's wrong with the code. Maybe you made a typo or something. Your best hope of fixing the issue and debugging it is right here on the side under these files. There is logs::Amazon CloudWatch. Go ahead and click on that. It will take you to this screen where any log streams that come up will show right here. And in log streams, it basically shows all the error messages that come through, if any come. So Amazon CloudWatch is your best chance of debugging your skill if you need to. So now it's time to finally test our Alexa skill. And it says test is disabled for the skill. Go ahead and click on development. And in here, type open, followed by your invocation name. So mine is my interesting space. So I'll go ahead and enter.
Here's your fact. On Mars, the sun appears about half the size as it does on Earth.
So right now, our Alexa skill is working. It successfully gave me a fact by saying, here's your fact, followed by one of the facts. So it looks like our skill is working. We got what we wanted, but there are still 3 tabs left: distribution, certification, and analytics. I'll briefly explain those. Distribution is if you want to publish your Alexa skill to the Alexa skill store, then you have to have a public name, 1-sentence description, detailed description, etc. Certification is the final step in publishing, just to make sure that there are no errors anywhere from the best that they can check. And then the final one is analytics. And in analytics, it'll show you how many sessions, unique customers, and utterances your skill gets, and it'll basically show the metrics of your skill. And so we are done here. So now, if you want some more learning resources, I would suggest go to my website, awesomeaariv.com. I have a lot of blog posts and videos about different topics based on Alexa, and especially this blog post, resources. I have a lot of different links to both coding and Alexa websites that helped me. And yeah, we're done. Thanks everyone for coming to my session. I really appreciate it. if you want to connect with me, you can email me at awesomeaariv@gmail.com. You can visit my website at awesomeaariv.com, or you can connect with me through any of the other social media handles listed below. Thank you.